So, welcome to another edition of the Influence Global podcast. And I'm really delighted to have a very special guest with me today, somebody I've known for quite some time and also contributed to my award-winning book. And that is the one and only Vladimir Votsvade. Have I got that
Yes,
right?
yes, you are right. Hi,
Oh,
Gordon.
lovely.
Thanks so much for inviting me to your podcast, and I'm excited to share my insights with you today to inspire your listeners to hit the ground running and to build their personal brands.
Yeah, that's great. And your achievements are phenomenal. You have been in so many top 100 awards. You're a judge at various awards in the UK. So for the benefit of our listeners and viewers, could you just give us a little bit of a snapshot about before you became a social media influencer? How did you get into this space?
Well, Gordon, great question. Thank you. I moved to United States. I come from Georgia, from Europe, and I moved to the United States when I was 18. I got my work permit from the State Department. I started working in Washington, D.C. area. And then afterwards, I moved to in New York City, in 2006. And, this experience truly laid a strong foundation for my success. I started seeing the world faster, easier, clearer. I have become very hungry about my goals, about my dreams. And I was just dreaming, in New York City that I wanted to rub shoulders with successful people. I want to get inside track and get upper hand to gain a practical experience. And I started working 16 hours a day. I became very curious. I became very open-minded. I just wanted to learn the best from the best, and I just started building my path instead of following the crowd. Of course, I completed my bachelor degree, my master's, my PhD, but what I have learned outside my comfort zone truly paved my way and transformed my career. And I also want to mention the importance of London, because I moved to London in 2009, and I studied business marketing in close to Cutty Sark in Greenwich, and I started working with 20 offices in downtown London, of course. And for me, UK and the United States are the two peas in a pod, almost the same environment, where you are supported by so many amazing people. And also everyone was talking about Twitter in 2010 in London, and I was curious about this network, and just they inspired me also to start building my following. I started tweeting. I connected with the world. I built my authority, my credibility. And of course, I was followed by like a millionaire and billionaire entrepreneurs, speakers, thought leaders from the United States, from the UK, and I remained curious. I learned a great deal from my colleagues, and then I started going from strength to strength. So then I built my website in 2015, my domain at vladimirvotsvade.com. I started providing marketing consultancy services, speaking services, mentoring services, and then in 2015, Analytica in London recognized me as number 65 global B2B marketing influencer because of my strong performance as a Twitter influencer. And this first award truly laid a strong foundation for my success. Then I climbed every mountain in technology. I was recognized as an influencer by Retail Insight Network, WizLabs, the KeenFox. I mean, so many organizations, and then in 2019, I was recognized by Thinkers 360 as #1 global marketing thought leader. Then in 2020, I started joining speakers bureaus, and I now work with 25 speakers bureaus throughout the world,
Wow.
And then I was in 2021, I was, for the first time, I was invited to the judging panel of Digital Revolution Awards in the UK. And I judged nominations such as Outstanding Contribution to Microsoft Ecosystem and Tech Star of the Year. And then, it was my first award ceremony contribution. Then I joined Stevie Awards, American Business Awards, Prolific North Marketing Awards, like a Gartner Marketing Communication Awards, and Lisbon Advertising Festival, and of course, I'm very proud of my contribution, because I always try to lead by example. I always try to help other people. I always try to recognize best marketers, best agencies. For example, at Stevie Awards last year, I try to recognize people who built their agencies in different states from scratch through their hard work and build amazing digital agencies. So it's amazing that I'm also a self-made person that but through hard work, through support, through collaboration, I truly spearheaded one of the fastest growing personal brands in the world. And even I serve on the advisory boards of the United States AI Institute, that Data Science Institute, and the Cybersecurity Institute. I also serve on the advisory council of Harvard Business Review, and I mentor entrepreneurs of different accelerators, startup accelerators throughout the world, like Abu Dhabi SME Hub, Plug and Play Tech Center, EMEA, Seed Stars, Bird Incubator in Croatia. So many accelerators throughout Europe, throughout the world. And I always inspire audiences, entrepreneurs, executives to build to create content, Gordon, because it's all about creating content, in digital age. Because, so if brands disregard social media, they go out of business, and consumers and the market don't care about their excuses that they don't want to be on social media and to storytell and connect with their audiences. And whoever tells stories always wins. And Steve Jobs says that the most powerful person in the world is a storyteller. So whoever tells their stories, whoever is close to consumers, whoever is close to audiences always wins. And that internet and social media have created so many renowned and successful entrepreneurs, thought leaders, influencers, and we need nobody's green light to be successful in this decade. It's all about social. You have everything in your pocket. You are in this business 24/7/365 because it costs nothing to download Twitter. It costs nothing to upload your video to YouTube. It costs nothing. It costs $0 to have a Tumblr account. It costs $0 to have to put out some videos on TikTok. So people have capitalized on the power of social media to tell their stories, and they have won.
Yeah, blimey. Where do you get your energy from, Vladimir? I mean, I thought I was energetic. That is
I'm very grateful to my parents because they sent me to the United States and to the UK at the age of 18, and they sacrificed. They wanted me to nurture myself in the UK, in the United States, and to capitalize on my time, great opportunities to grow myself. And also, of course, my efforts paid off, and I want my parents to be proud of myself that they have given me their best, and I was in the right place at the right time with the right people, whether it was Twitter, LinkedIn, or Instagram, or United States, London, or New York City, or Washington DC. That I surrounded myself with right people, and they have galvanized me into taking action.
Well, that's a great perspective that you've given there, because I also advocate, influence is about not only surrounding yourself with the right people, but linking up and partnering with those. And you said a little minute ago that I learn from the best. And that is a great lesson for everybody that wants to be highly influential, is learn from the best and take the best snippets, curate that in a way that with your own opinions and views, and be self-effacing in the fact that you continually educate and inspire. And I think, the evidence speaks for itself, doesn't it? But what I was going to say is, when you are creating content, is there ever a time when it exhausts you or overwhelms you? You're on a lot, you're in Dubai at the moment.
I'm never exhausted. Gordon, I'm never exhausted, because I love what I do, and I'm passionate about marketing, content creation, storytelling, and they say that you can lead a horse to water and you can make it drink, right? So nobody has forced me that, Vladimir, you need to be on Twitter, you need to create content, and you need to put out your content 8-10 social media channels. But open-mindedness has been my biggest strength, Gordon. Open-mindedness, right? Because I was in New York City at the age of 18 and 19, and I was working on Fifth Avenue and 42nd Street, and I wanted to connect with United States Tech Society. I wanted to introduce myself to amazing people, but I did not have this chance to capitalize on Twitter and Facebook and other channels in 2006 to tell my story. But in 2010, in 2011, 2012, 13, 14, 15, 16, I have told my story. I connected. I have shown gratitude. If someone retweets me, likes my post, or shows appreciation, I always show gratitude. So it is for me, business is all about two-way street. It's not one-way street. We need to walk the walk. We need to care, because I care about my audience. And whether I speak in Istanbul, in London, in Berlin, or in Singapore, in Dubai, or wherever I speak, I always provide value to my audience.
Yeah, and that's another great asset that you talked about, is realizing that every follower, every share, every comment is like a handshake, is like somebody taking the time to reach out to you because they like what you've done. I think that's great. And the other thing I think is really important when it comes to influence is community, isn't it? And we were talking about it just off air really before. And how important is it, do you think, for B2B influencers to build and grow communities?
It's very important. It is of paramount importance, Gordon. It is of the essence to build credibility, to build community, to communicate with your audience. And communication dictates everything we do nowadays. Unfortunately, as an award judge at 9 award ceremonies, I can say from my personal experience and what I review, that majority of brands don't care about their consumers online. They don't care. If a consumer is not satisfied with the product, and when he tweets, a brand needs to reply within 15 minutes, right? 15 minutes to solve problems, right? So we need to care about our consumers. We need to care about our audiences. We need to tell our stories. We need to provide enlightening, informative, and entertaining content to our audiences. We need to have podcasts. We need to push out maybe 50, 60 pieces of content across 8-10 social media channels every single day. 60.
Wow.
I think that as an individual, we need to publish probably 15 or 25 pieces of content. But when it comes to organizations and the big corporations, they need to publish maybe 50, 60, 70 pieces of content across 8-10 social media channels every single day. And the best example is Ericsson in Stockholm, that has podcasts like a AI podcast, 5G podcast, different kind of emerging technology podcasts to care about their audience and to provide enlightening and informative content to their audience. And that Ericsson team, marketing team, to what extent they work with digital transformation experts on great projects. So I think if brands don't collaborate with influencers, thought leaders, they should not be in business.
Yeah, well, I agree totally, and obviously that's one of the reasons why you're on our podcast, because you work with brands in actually helping them tell the story and add a unique personal touch to them. Are there any sort of collaborations you can talk about that have worked really well for you at any events that come to mind?
Well, Gordon, I have recently spoken at the Global Marketing Summit alongside Philip Kotler, and my presentation has been viewed by more than 50,000 people in more than 900 cities, and my keynote speech has received rave reviews. I have received the certificate of appreciation from the event organizers. So I'm very proud to be as a speaker alongside my icon, Philip Kotler, at the Global Marketing Summit. I also worked with the Gartner Marketing Communication Awards as an executive judge in London. I also serve on the advisory boards of the three institutes in the United States: AI Institute, Data Science Institute, and Cybersecurity Institute. I also serve on the advisory council of Harvard Business Review, and I also mentor entrepreneurs at the UCLA Anderson School of Management, and I also mentor startups at UCL Enterprise and Innovation in London. I'm also a career mentor at the University of Westminster in London, And it's just, as I mentioned, I'm also a board judge, a speaker. I work with 25 speakers bureaus throughout the world. Gordon, that Excellion magazine recognized me as a transformative leader of the year, and you can see my last name here.
Oh,
And
amazing.
just remarkable that they have published me last year and recognized me as a transformative leader of the year. And also Inside Success magazine, Gordon, recognized me among top 10 inspiring business leaders. And it's just remarkable that I'm in the magazines,
Look at that. Fantastic. That's great.
Yes.
That's great.
I'm very honored. I'm very honored of my impact, my contribution, of my consistent performance. And we need to become patient, Gordon, in business, patient, right? Because without patience, nothing great happens in marketing, right? Because
and I think that's a good point you mentioned when it comes to brands, and I think particularly those that are investor backed. So often they look for quick returns, 4-year exits and stuff like that, and it takes time to build brands, doesn't it? It takes time to build audiences and connect with them. In a way and that's the reason why I'm a great fan of using influencers as part of that strategy, because they can tell their stories in various different channels. And obviously the fact that
Gordon, a celebrity was smoking Lucky Strikes 40 years ago in the United States, and Lucky Strikes became one of the biggest brands, right? Because collaborating with influencers, right? So we work in the digital age nowadays, and we can see to what extent brands collaborate with David Beckham, Lionel Messi, Cristiano Ronaldo, and Roger Federer, Novak Djokovic, to help their brand to tell their stories, right? So collaborating with influencers is the backbone of growth in this day and age.
100%. Now, I want to talk a little bit about AI, because it obviously is very much the talk of the day, and the fact that you are a global advisor for the American AI Institute is obviously highly relevant and impactful. You were saying something to me off air, which was quite startling, actually. You were talking about 85% of businesses that don't embrace AI may not be around in the foreseeable future. That's quite a statement. So do you want to elaborate on that?
So it is all about, I always try to address the elephant in the room. I'm an independent thought leader. And of course, what I see nowadays is the AI, every company should be an AI company in the future, AI company. What does it mean? That they need to upskill their workforce. They need to embrace AI technology. They need to, for example, almost 40, I think that 40 million jobs will be replaced by AI in 2 years. And AI's contribution to global economy will be $50.7 trillion in 2030.
Wow.
50.7 trillion dollars. Can you imagine that what is happening nowadays? That if we see in retrospect, so many brands have been disrupted by Airbnb, Amazon, Uber, Spotify, and the other startups because of speed and convenience. Gordon, speed and convenience win all the time. Speed and convenience. So if brands want to act fast, they need to take advantage of AI to move forward, to stay ahead of the curve, and of course, it is very dismal that AI started replacing jobs. But everyone needs to get ready for AI revolution,
But I guess although it's going to replace jobs, it's going to create new jobs as well, isn't it? It's like I often say to somebody, "Oh, this is very worrying," but the real, the skill is actually in the prompt. If you look at ChatGPT, for example, there are jobs now for prompt engineers, which proves that's a new job. It's a skill to put in the question that you want it to ask. That's the equivalent of writing good software code and bad software code, isn't it?
Yes. Gordon, iPhone also replaced so many people's jobs, automobile also replaced so many people's jobs, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
in every revolution, in every industrial revolution, something has replaced jobs, right? Something, right? Something make things easier. And of course, we need to get ready, right? Because there are 8 billion people in the world, and there are 5.4 billion mobile users, 5.2 billion internet users, and 4.7 billion social media users. 4.7 billion social media users. It is now or never brand to strike while the iron is hot and to connect with their audiences online. Otherwise, they will be out of business, you know.
And that's a really good point. And do you think, therefore, that the challenger brands, these up and coming brands that are much more nimble, almost can turn around and make those changes quicker, versus some of the big corporate giants that are almost like container ships that take a lot longer to innovate and change? And
Yes,
before they know it, they've got challengers on their right shoulder that are eating away at that market share.
yes, Gordon. You know, as a marketing thought leader, as a marketing speaker who works with, speakers bureaus and who is invited to masterclasses, workshops, keynote speeches, I can say that I have to convince marketing teams to invest their marketing money in social media marketing. You know,
Yeah, of course.
there are
Yeah,
so
you said
many
that.
brands. Yes, there are so many brands that are wasting their money on offline marketing channels, TV, radio, billboards, newspapers, print, magazines, you know. And you know, marketing is all about winning attention and to tell your story, you know. And if you are advertising on street, on billboards, when someone is driving a car, nobody is looking at those billboards. Even people are not looking at the road, they are in their mobile devices, you know.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting. Another reason why, of course, influencer marketing can work well is because influencers have got niche audiences that are super engaged. So for a brand to tap into a wide range of influencers, it can create something like 11 times greater ROI than any other form of advertising when done well, using the right influencers with the right content. And those are really fantastic statistics. So I certainly predict a huge growth in the influencer marketing area, particularly the B2B space, which has been growing steadily over time. It's people like yourself and other thought leaders that are helping make that change. So what does the future look like for you? What's next on your highly busy career?
Gordon, great question. You know, I'm now 35. I'm turning 36 in 2 weeks, you know, and I'm very excited, you know, about the future. Always, I'm optimistic. I'm a long-term thinker. I rarely rest on my laurels, and I always look to my laurels, you know. I always try to surround myself with the right people. And, you know, I have been living my passion, you know. Even in childhood, I was burning the midnight oil. I was the most diligent kid. I was and you know, I live my passion. You know, I don't need to follow the crowd to be in a survival mode. You know, I
Yeah.
create my path and I'm in growth mode. You know, because when I wake up every single morning, I wake up with determination. I want to impact people. I want to help other people. I want to care about my community. I want to care about the people I love. You know, I want to see more successful people around me. You know, that I want to build confidence in other people. You know, I want to build confidence. That's why I speak, I tweet, I mentor accelerators at University of Westminster, UCLA Anderson. I speak because, you know, I'm a giver, not a taker. You know, that's why my expertise has been put on a pedestal because I love what I do. And of course, in the future, I'm going to publish best-selling books. I'm going to speak at more events. And of course, but life is very unpredictable. But I work hard and smart on a daily basis. That you know, that of course, you know, I have plans in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years. But I always try to. I inspire the world to think in the long term, not in the short term or medium term. In the long term, you know, we need to leave our comfort zone. We need to be in growth mode and learning mode. We need to learn actively on a daily basis in order to remain competitive and to stay ahead of the curve, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. Great words. So I want to just leave the audience with one amazing tip that you can share that was a life-changing moment for you when, for somebody that may be on the way up, wants to get cut through and, you know, is finding it challenging. What would your advice be that's was fairly groundbreaking for you?
We need to choose optimism. We need to be a long-term thinker. We need to be curious. Curiosity is a backbone of growth nowadays. Curiosity. We need to become more open-minded. We need to forget that whatever we learn is a drop in the ocean, and we should always look to our laurels. Always, you know. Yeah. We need to push self-education every single day. We need to read maybe 200, 300 pages a day, you know, to expand our horizons and to build our knowledge on a daily basis, you know. So formal education is a drop in the ocean and the water under the bridge. So if you want to be competitive, if you want to be sought after and in high demand in your field, of course, you need to reinvest every penny in your growth. Reinvesting every penny in your growth. You should forget to keep up with Jonases, to buy cars, to buy houses, to go on vacations, and you need to scrimp and save, and to reinvest every penny in your business growth. Whether you build your company or whether you build a personal brand, you need to reinvest. You need to build your own website. You need to create a competitive portfolio in order to tell your story to the world.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, those are amazing words, and I love your enthusiasm. Your energy is off the page. I thought I was energetic.
You know, I love the UK so much. You know, it's my dreams came true when I moved to the UK. It is you know, people from the UK are on my wavelengths. You know, they speak my language, and we are cut from the same cloth, 100%. You know.
Yeah, great. Well, look, such a lovely to have you on the Influence Global podcast. How can people find out more about you, Vladimir?
They can visit at vladimirbotswadze.com, where I provide like speaking, mentoring, consulting, and coaching services. Also, they can connect with me on LinkedIn, and I'm always open to new connections. They can also follow me on Twitter at Vlado Botswadze and Instagram, Vladimir Botswadze. So if they want to watch, I always document my journey on YouTube, and I have my own channel. So if they want to pick my brain and to explore more about me, they can also watch my videos on my YouTube channel. Also, if they want to learn more about me, they can even watch my keynote speeches or my podcast interviews on YouTube. So let's connect and let's build great things in the future.
Great. Thank you so much.
Thanks for listening. And if you like this episode, please do give us a review, as it really makes a difference to us. If you want help in creating an influencer marketing strategy, or you want to join the Influencer Marketing Roundtable event, then just head over to gordonglenister.com. Thanks as always to my producer, Neil Whiteside from Freedom One. And until next time, from me, Gordon Glenister, it's bye for now.